Hello everyone, welcome to my cross stitch channel. My name is Megan and this is Flosstube number 60. Yes, 60. I feel like that's a big deal. You know, every 10, I feel like, yay. So 60 of these videos, and I thank you so much for joining me, coming back if you're a subscriber. And I'm excited because I have a lot to show you today. Yay, finally, you have some variety. I also have a start and finish since I last saw you guys just a couple weeks ago. I think people call that a SAF, start and finish. So yay, I'm excited to show you that. And also I have to announce the winner of my next one strand a day project. Oh, if you don't know, I have a project on the go usually where I just do literally one strand every day. And it's really gotten me progress and finishes on things that otherwise may not have been touched. So it's awesome. I love it. And I noticed some other people are starting to do that as well. So I had you guys vote on 3 different projects that could have been potentials for one strand a day. And you voted on here on my channel and Instagram. So I can announce that. Exciting. And then I have a whole bunch of whips. I didn't even count, but a lot of whips that I'm going to show you today that I worked on. And I also have some shout outs because I've been watching a little more Flosstube. And yeah, then just like a life update at the end. So yeah, I guess I'll start because it's right here with my... Well, do you want to do the winner first? So you guys voted. Thank you so much for those of you who voted. And it was close. 2 of them were very close. So once I tallied up all the votes, in 3rd place with 8 votes was the tarot. So that one I was just going to do and finish up the border. So that was 3rd. And the winner, there was only 2 points away between the next 2. And with 16 votes, the winner is the 13 Moons Stitch Along. And that was 16, and the owl, the Tread Softly, was 14. So they were very close. So maybe in a future one strand a day. But it doesn't mean I won't work on those. I'm definitely going to work on those if they come up, because now I started back to my wheel, my spinning the wheel rotation. I had been focusing on just like a couple projects for a while. But now I have the capacity to do a little more. So that's been so fun. I was so happy to get back to that. So that's why I have a lot, because I basically worked on just a different project pretty much every day. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, I want to show you the 13 moons because I did start it already. I tallied it up on June 5th and I started, I think the 6th on doing my one strand. So I don't have a full cover picture, and it's gonna, I mean, the picture, she does have like a picture of all the finished moons, but she did them individually in like pillows. Mine looks totally different from that. I'm doing it all on one, and I will show you where I started, but this is what I have so far now. I had finished already the January wolf moon, and I was working on the snow moon for February. And before I started this one strand a day, which I think I've done 6 already. But what I had was basically from here up and then a little bit down here. But I finished the moon and I'm working again more on the snowflake down. And I did add a few more of the snowflakes around. So it's getting there for this one, but it's been almost a week on this, and I have 13 moons here. That's gonna be, so it will take a while, but I like how this one, I mean, I have mini finishes all throughout, so that's good. But yeah, you guys will be seeing this more because I'll work on it every day, and I will post my progress. I don't know if I'll do it every week or every other week. We'll just see how much progress I get on Instagram. And that's Stitching Moon, the same as my channel, if you're interested. So that is that. I'm doing this on a 16 count Ada, I think Mystic Ada. Yeah. In Mystic. So that is that. All right. Okay, my whips are kind of everywhere, and I have to move very carefully because the camera is very close to me, the tripod, and my feet are like in between it, so I'm sorry if I hit that during this. We will see. Okay, let's go to my start and finish. So the reason I did this was I was going through, I just wanted to like look at my kits because it's been a long time since I've started I've started one, but my kits, I haven't started a kit in a long time. And I just wanted to go through them. And I also was there with my daughter who's 5, and I was just showing her things to see what she liked and if she liked anything as what I might do for my next one, because that's, I don't know, it's fun. And she was so funny. She was going through and she's like, oh, do this one. Don't do this one. Do that. Like she was, yeah, it was funny. But when she came across this one, luckily it was small, she just thought it was hilarious. She started cracking up and she thought it was so sweet. She said, so then I actually got a stomach bug and I was kind of quarantining myself for a couple days, and it was the perfect occasion to get this started. And it's, yeah, there was a lot of firsts in this as well. But it is actually a Mill Hill kit, but it's different than what you usually see. Here it is. I'll try and stand behind it so you can't see through it. Isn't it so cute? I love it. It's called, I think it's called Makes Your Heart Smile, because it says, do what makes your heart smile. And now normally Mill Hill kits are on a perforated paper, but this one was on Ada, and that also was what made me gravitate toward it, because I really don't like feel a desire to work on perforated paper, but it was Ada and super cute. Oh, look at it. And the cloud, you know, it's supposed to be like a little kid's drawing or, you know, something like that. So, you know, the stitches, it's not like even or anything, but that's just how it's supposed to be. And a little mouse. At first in the picture, I thought it was a bird, but it's actually a mouse on top of the cat's head. And the bike, that is all back stitching and beading. There's a couple X's in there. Yeah, and then the words, the beads, you can see a little bit through it, but once I frame it, you won't be able to see. And so this was my first time ever doing beads. And I never done a Mill Hill before, so I don't know how it compares to other ones. But for me, it was a lot being my first time. Yeah, so I don't know how good they are, but oh my, they used both seed beads, I think it was, and petite beads. Oh my God, those are so small. They're so tiny. Like they're the size of a chia seed. Yeah, I did not know how small they were going to be, but I did it. And you have to do a full cross to get those in place. With the bigger ones, it was just half cross, which went a lot faster. So I think some of them you can't really see that well. Like the wheels, they're all the petite ones, but all the wheels, they are beads. And up in the clouds, you can see obviously some beads, but then also like this, those are beading, but I kind of changed a little bit, which maybe I shouldn't have, because I thought this one looked mostly like regular cross stitches. Like you couldn't really tell, and I wanted it to show the beads more. So what I did in this cloud, you're supposed to make a full X to stick it in. And now, I don't know if I can explain it, but what I did was I didn't put thread in like all the way to the hole. I did it like in between so that you couldn't see the thread as much and just have the beads stand out more. And you can tell more that it's beading. However, that was hard on my fingers because you're going through Ada fabric, and also it bent the needle. But, you know, I already started, so I didn't want to just like change it halfway up, but I didn't do that anymore after that because that maybe wasn't a good idea. But anyway, and then all these are beads down here, but somewhere along the way I like messed up where they were supposed to go. So I, like the end here, I just made up, that was my notebook falling down. But I just made up where they go. And yeah, you can really see through it in this light. It's like a constellation, but no, we really can't. If once I have like a felt behind it and the frame, like the frame, then you can't see it, but it shows up a lot in the camera, but trust me, I was not going to stop the thread after every single bead. Also, I did make just a couple changes besides that one with the beads, because so this one was supposed to be black and it's actually dark blue because I just thought there was too much black. What else? Oh yeah, the words were supposed to be in 2 strands backstitch, but I didn't see that, so I just did 1. What else? Maybe that was the only thing I changed, yeah. But the back stitching of all this, like that actually went really fast. That was the fastest of everything to do. So it really wasn't bad. But yeah, this, I need to find a frame, obviously. This is the Q-snap that it was in. So temporary frame, but eventually I'll find a real one. So yay, very happy about that. So thank you to my daughter. Otherwise I wouldn't have even like pulled this out and I wouldn't have a finish. So, and I did this in like 4 days again, because I was sick and literally just did this mostly. Okay. I'm gonna put this here on the windowsill and hope it doesn't fall down. Hopefully. Okay, let me get my notes again. Oh no, it lost my place. Sorry. Okay. Now, next one that I just worked on with like the wheel spinning. I will have to take things out of Ziploc bags, but they're the sliding ones, mostly. This one is a Heaven and Earth design. Artwork by Sue Klein called Venus. And I absolutely love the colors in this. And I started it when I had my son. And it's so sweet. Now, all that background, I did not do. I'm doing it on a similar fabric because that was like 118,000 stitches. No, like 30% almost. So, yeah, so my percentage here is not like super accurate in terms of what I actually did, but let me show you. I am working, I'll show you where I'm working. I start in the upper left, but I'm starting up here in that horn thing. I will do the butterfly, but I haven't got there yet. But it is tough. It is tough not like having a background to work off of, because I filled it all in Pattern Keeper, but I'm not sure always like which ones have I actually done in my stitching and which ones I just filled in for the background. So it's a little tough, but once I get into the main part, it'll be a lot easier. Oh, I got a cat hair on it. Okay, I'll just have to get that out later. So here is where she is. And this is 2/1 half cross on 25 count. And I'm sorry, but I forget the name of the fabric. It was an Etsy place, but I think it matches pretty well. Now, I think there are some places where I didn't have to stitch it, like that was actually background. Like, I think this should have ended here. I don't know if, I'm not sure if I'm gonna rip that out yet. I'm just gonna see as it goes along and I do more, like if you can even notice it. And then I think, yeah, I'm not sure. This might this might just be the background too, so I don't know. I might have to rip some stuff out, but I'll see how it looks as I go along. It was tough, but yeah. Otherwise, I really like how it's coming out. Now this is my biggest, let me tell you, I do have some stats. So it is, so with all the background done, it's 118,971 stitches out of 385,500 stitches. But I'm already at 30.86%, so that's nice. So yeah, technically my furthest along full coverage, I think. Yeah. Sorry if you don't like that noise. All right, I'm just not gonna put that big Q snap back in there right now. That will take too long. I don't even know where I'm gonna put my stuff when I'm done. We'll see. All right, next is another Heaven and Earth design, full coverage. If you are new to my channel, I do a lot of big ass projects. This one is Magic Moonlight, and it is by Selena Fennick and I said Heaven and Earth design. And this one isn't too big, you know, compared to other ones. But yeah, I love, 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 love the color contrast here and how those fairies look. Oh, can't wait to get to them. Okay, take it out. It's also 125 count, which is my go-to on Easy Guide. And it's also 2/1 half cross. And look, I got into the moon a little bit. I normally just do the diagonal in the upper left corner. However, when I started this, I didn't have like most of the colors. So I had to just work on that tree, which was all almost 939. Just a couple of black in there. Yeah, some of the moon, woohoo. However, it's like a brown moon, which I'm a little bit like, I don't know. I don't know. It looks not as brown in the picture. So I'm a little, I mean, I guess it kind of does, and it'll get to the lighter part, but hopefully it comes out well. It seems a little darker here. Now, what am I at with this one? I've done 5,421 stitches out of 112,400 stitches, 4.82%. It's pretty fast going just because it's half cross and not so much confetti as of yet. All right. Where is my bag? There it is. Okay. All right, next we have another Heaven and Earth design, full coverage. And this one is Together by Jim Warren, and yeah, one I'm doing for my husband and I. And this one is actually my furthest along in terms of stitches that I've done on it. Not percent, but stitches. And it is also the 25 count, Easy Guide, like all of them, so I won't really need to say that, but here is where I'm at. Yeah, it's looking good. So where am I? I am at 44,341 stitches out of 310,000, 14.3%. So, you know, when I look at it, I'm just like a little overwhelmed, but we're getting there slowly. I'm working up here so you can see the little trees coming in, and soon I'll get to the house. Oh, this is 1/1 full cross, so that's different. This is one of my first full coverages, so then I was just doing full cross, but then I realized I have so many that I need to do them faster, so I switched to half cross, and it really is so much faster for me. So I'll show you again in the picture where I am. I'm working here, so again, soon I'll get to that nice house. All right, fold this bad boy up. I hope you can admire the view during these little pauses. I have a reflection, unfortunately, but okay. Oh, I forgot to put the cover back. I'll do that later. Okay, a lot of kits came out now in this wheel spinning. So now, yeah, I'll show you some of those. Which is good because I haven't been working so much on my kits. But this one, love, Dimensions Gold Collection Fall Fairy. Aren't those colors just stunning? I love them. It's so pretty. This was a birthday start like 3 years ago, and I do not have a very good start. But I got a little done, but I'll show you what I did to make it go a lot faster. But first I'll show you it. So it's on is it 16 count? I believe it's 16 count, yeah. Dove Gray Ada. And there I am. Beautiful colors. So this, as you know, well, you might know, Dimensions uses all different kinds of stitches and strands. So in a way, so I was kind of dreading working on this just because of not only the changes, but also if you're familiar with Dimensions kits, they come, all the floss comes in a little strip and they like attach the floss where it's like kind of stuck in there. And it is so long. The threads are completely long. Excuse me. So like if you folded the threads up, you would have a pretty long strand to do like with 2 strands. But they're so long, and there was 2 of them and so many colors, and they got all tangled, and it was such a mess, and it was difficult to find the colors because they're not in any order. And I don't know why, but Dimensions threads numbers, they're like 5 or 6 digits long. I'm like, is that necessary? You just have to make it more complicated. So there was that. And then with the blends, I had like a system where I was putting them on floss drops on a ring. But then I also had some that once I finished the thread, I didn't like, and I had some left over. There wasn't a place to put them. So I had to hole punch on that little card it came with, but then when I took out a thread, then some of them would break, and I would wrap them around. It was such a mess. So I really dreaded working on it because I never got far, and it took a lot of time and effort. So finally, I should have done this a long time ago, but I finally organized it and made my own system for it. And, oh, it is so much better and enjoyable to work on. So I recommend doing this anytime you have a Dimensions kit. So I'll show you what I did. So I took all the colors off that board card thing it came with and put them on floss drops, which is my best way I like to work with all the numbers. And look how nice it is. Look at these colors. And I put all the numbers in order. So that's going to be so much more easy to find. So look at how pretty. I love it. And now I still have another ring that I have for my blends. with the symbols, and there's not too many now, actually, so it's so much nicer. So far, I only have these, and what I did was I put the symbol and also the 2 numbers of what they are. And then any extra thread for the blends, I just pop on there. Yeah. So again, so much easier to work with. Now there are extra flosses, which these I will wait until I run out of what I have now on my floss drop to put on. Because look, it's also a big mess. But these are like the extra ones that they didn't have on their card originally. So yeah, it is so much better. Like, I need to do this in the beginning. I think I just get impatient and want to start it right away, and then I think I can organize as I go, but it's just a mess. So yeah, so glad I did that. All right. Next we have, oh, another one, another kit that's Dimensions, but it's Dimensions Petite, Gold Petite. And this one is A Kiss for Snowman. So sweet. Now this one, I did the same thing. I just went through, it didn't take as long because it doesn't have as many colors. Ooh, there goes the floss. Okay. So this one, yeah, I'll show you it first. Look at, ooh, so nice. I haven't done any of the back stitching yet, so that's even gonna make it pop more. And there are gonna be French knots for a ton of snowflakes. You can see the little holes for them. But this time I worked in her pink, a little bit of the green, and then her pink jacket. So even though it's winter, it was nice working in pink because it was more springy or summery. And again, so much faster after I organized. Speaking of organized, I'm clearly not in this setup. Everything's falling down. But yeah, I'll show you the system now for this one. This one has more, well, no, it's actually not bad for my blends. Okay, so here is what these colors look like. I know it looks a little messy, but it's so much better than it was before. So yeah, don't worry about that mess. It's easier to work with than it was. And then the blends. So these I was working on bobbins, but I don't normally, but they were already on bobbins. My God, I'm sorry. Yeah, but that's those. Now, the thing is though, I did run out of a color. So there will be some holes in this until I can find a replacement for that. I hope that doesn't happen with many of them, but we will see. How did I have this in there? I try not to fold things so much because these lines just are so hard to take out when you iron them. Okay. Okay, oh, again, I didn't put, I'll just slide that back in. Again, I hope you're enjoying the view. Okay, what is this one? What, I forget, what is this? Oh, I didn't work on that. Why did I bring that down? Okay, another kit. This one is an RTO kit. It's raining whips here. Okay, I'm not going to take this one out because I can show you this way. This is Forest Heartbeat. So sweet. You can see it even has the moon in her hair, so it's like a night sky. And this one, they came more organized already. RTO is a little better to work with in terms of that than Dimensions. But it's on a 14 count Aida and they use DMC floss. Look. Again, it doesn't have a lot of backstitch, but there is some in her face and I haven't done any of that yet. But yeah, I'm working over here, up and down on this page, and I got the little part of the wolf and then part of her arm, and it looks a little funny now, but it's, her elbow is like around and it's gonna go down, hugging the wolf. This also has blends, but it's really not bad to work with. And I love how she's coming out. Love it. This one, I guess since I'm showing you like organization, it comes on 3 cards labeled with both, well, I put the symbols in, but it came with the numbers, and I used the key to just, because it has a place where you can just write in the symbols. And so it comes on 3s already in like manageable floss drops, so you can just pull out a thread, and then it has a key for the blends that's easy to follow. And for the leftover blends, I just had this on hand, and I just labeled the symbols and put the extras on here. And that is that. All right. Love her. All right. All right, we have next, oh, the one a lot of people's choice for my one strand today. But yep, it is the Owl. Tread Softly is what it's called, by Lindy Stitches. And the poem is from a poem, but I being poor have only my dreams. I've spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly because you tread on my dreams. Now I didn't get, I mean, it doesn't look so much different from the last time I showed you, but I did put in a good amount. Here's where we are. And I worked in, what is that? Yeah, I worked in this part, and I put in about maybe 8 or 9 rows. And again, you can see, like, I'll cut off these little threads. You can see behind some knots got in there. But this uses a mixture of DMCs, Weeks Dye Works, and Dinky Dyes. So I'm doing all the called for. And this was not the called for fabric, but it's very close. But it is not my favorite fabric to work with. It is so stiff and like scratchy. Like this is sharp on the ends. But I think it's called Touch of Blue Witch Elves. So got a little work done on the owl. You guys can see it. Yeah. All of my paper patterns, I don't have any stats for because I don't count unless it counts for me. All right. Is this my last one already? This one was a new start recently. It is my only long dog sampler, Ragnarok, because it is based on the Norwegian or Norse myths, and I live in Norway. So cool. And I just started this recently. I think this is the 3rd time maybe I worked on it. 2nd or 3rd. Gorgeous fabric. Another biggie. This is Extra Design fabric, marbled hazelnut. Or roasted marbled. And again, like, sorry for being able to see through it so much. You can't see, but it's, yeah, you can see the modeling, but Wish you couldn't see through it as much. And it's 36 count. First time using that. 1/1 full cross. And here's where I am. I'm gonna do this monochromatic in 8/16 DMC. Because I figured Vikings, the Norse myths were so bloody. The world started with like a river of blood. I mean, so I thought that was appropriate. And so that's the word hope. It says in here, hope is the last thing ever lost. So, but it's, you know, all spread out. Yeah, all over. And yeah, I think as I complete like the motifs, I'll try and find like a little story about them from the mythology. But she also the designer also put in blue herons, I think they're called. Is that what they're called? Red herons. Red herrings? I don't know. The thing to distract you from the main part. Like things that were actually not anything to do with the Norse myths. Just because one of the, I think, was he a god? I don't know. One of the gods, Loki, is like a trickster. So just because of that, she put in like some random things that have nothing to do with Norse mythology. And she talks about that on the website. So that'll be fun to talk about as I get to them. Anything else I need to say about that? I don't think so. Oh yeah, no, I do. I have stats for that because it's in Pattern Keeper. So I have 767 stitches of 64,755, which is 1.18%. So yeah. And I think, so that's the whips that I worked on. Next, I want to do some shout outs. I think I have 7 people I'll shout out. They're just like the ones that I've watched recently. And there are so many more I want to get to. So if I don't shout you out now, it doesn't mean I want to still watch a bunch of Flosstube. So, but these are just the ones that I've watched recently. I won't say too much about everyone because we're already getting a little long, but I watched Sloan Stitches, who is actually new. I watched her Whip Parade, new to Flosstube, but not Instagram. And she has a couple of the same projects as me, including Ragnarok. Adelaide Stitches, also her Whip Parade I watched. Fiber Arts Amy, she just finished a bunch, or not a bunch. No, she didn't finish. She's close to a finish on a Teresa Wensler that looks absolutely amazing. Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, who she does like crazy things. She's doing a Monopoly game. She's doing a lot of her goals, like tons of projects. So she's fun to watch. Suki, the Brown-Eyed Stitcher, and she went through some stuff and now she's getting back into a rotation. Cross Stitch in Cambria. Wow, sorry. I had to just like pause because I all of a sudden got a test emergency alert on my phone that was so loud. Yeah, so I just have to cut that out and begin again. Sorry. But yeah, I was in the middle of saying another shout out, who is Cross Stitch in Cambria, who's new to Flosstube, but also is on Instagram, a male stitcher, and also really into music. And on his first Flosstube, he was just talking all about all these bands that reminded me of high school. We're the same age. And so that just brought me back. So that was fun. And Small Town Stitches. So yeah, those are my shout outs. I'm going to link them all below in my description so you can check them out if you want to. Then I just have life updates. Let's see, I actually organized my stitching room, which needed to be done. So whatever I'd finished, like leftover floss, I just like put down on a table because I just couldn't deal with sorting it. So that was building up and it was stressing me out. So I finally went through and especially my floss collection and added, like just sorted them, put them in the master set that I have. Not that I have a full set, but I just put them back where they belonged. So that felt really good, really good. So I was kind of in an organizing mood. Also, I unexpectedly got a sewing machine, and this was from my husband's grandmother. And like, I didn't need one necessarily or ask for one, but she just like randomly sent one because she loves the fact that I cross stitch and like those things, and she just wanted to send a gift, which was absolutely amazing. And it's a Singer Promise. And now I did use a sewing machine way back in the day, like when I was 12. And I did I was in like a group that did some sewing, like we made pajama pants and little things, and I enjoyed it, but I totally forgot everything, like how to set it up. I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos to help me, and already I have learned how to take apart and put it back together because a lot of things happened. Like my needle jammed a couple times, the top thread just like came out, but it might have been what I was doing, because what I really wanted to try to do was serge my edges of my cross stitches that are not already serged. And I didn't realize they actually make a serging machine, which is a separate thing, a serger. But I did look up, you can use a sewing machine to do that. But I think it caused some problems because, you know, I was just using the one layer of thread, and I don't know, something happened. I don't know. I don't know things about sewing machines, but I learned about it, like just having those mistakes or things happen. But yeah, eventually I'll get to it, I guess. And I can like sew up my kids' clothes that get holes in it, but I'm not sure what else I'll do with it. Like, I guess one day I can learn to make project bags, because Lord knows I need those. I'm using Ziploc bags mostly. So yeah, someday. Otherwise, we're doing some home improvements still. We got this house about maybe almost a year and a half ago. And it's an old house, so there was things that had to be done. And we, last time I think I said like my husband he redid the boards, like floorboards on this porch, because it really needed it. They were kind of rotting. And where we live, like, it is like a hot spot for mold. But we power washed the railing here, and not everything came off, but it's so much better than it was. So that's super nice. But if we got too close to get the mold off, like the paint started chipping off. So we couldn't do too much, but it's such an improvement. Eventually we have to do the whole house, but because the paint chips off, we have to kind of be ready to paint it again at the same time. But little by little, and next week, he wants to put windows in, new windows for my daughter's room, because that's like the only room upstairs from the bedrooms that need to be redone. It's like, I don't know why, they did all the other ones new, and that's the only one they like left. So we have to redo the windows, the floors, maybe the walls to put better insulation in it, but that might be just too much. But we are going to paint it. She wants a rainbow on her wall, so I'll have to learn how to do that. So lots of work and stuff going on. But in 2 weeks, my family will be visiting. My dad and stepmom will be visiting from the US for about 2 weeks, so that will be fun. I won't get a lot of stitching, I'm sure, done, because we'll be hanging out with them. I hope the weather's nice here in Norway. In the summer, it's not always warm. If the sun is not out, it's pretty cold. I mean, cold, like not winter cold, but 50s, which is not summer to me at all. But I hope the weather's nice. And other than that, like, I really just hope the illnesses die down. This has been a tough year because it's my son's first year in daycare, and he got all the things and I got all the things. Every month without exception this year I have been sick, and it's June. Every single month. So hopefully July is illness free. But yeah, we will see. So if I can like go on with this wheel thing, and like do a lot of projects, then I do want to come back for another Flosstube before they come to visit. So I'm hoping I can do that, and if not, I'll be seeing you after that sometime in July, but hopefully you'll see me one more time in June. So I think that's all. Thank you for sticking with me, and please like and subscribe because that is so appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.